This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Anthropologist Watches Amberlynn Read. And the bingo card got updated. And I know that because of the K-pop. How cool is that? Huh? I will have a link in the description down below that should take you to the bingo card. And again, I want to thank Curvy Asparagus for doing this because I think it's hilarious. Okay, so for those of you who want to play bingo at home, I will put a link in the description, so be sure to check that out before we get any further. And again, thank you to Curvy Asparagus. I believe that was Curvy Asparagus' thing. Thank you very much for this, and thank you for updating it. I think it's funny. Anyway, this is Amber's 30-minute Q&A. I know we're all like, oh god. But this is actually a really good chance to kind of just examine how Amber wants to project herself to her audience. I mean, I know I say that all the time, but it's literally what I do. So, that's of course I'm going to harp on it. But Amber she loves to talk about herself. We know that from all the way back. We know that Amber loves to talk about herself at any point, but we also know that she does these AMAs, these long video AMAs, when she's completely out of her own content. Like, she can't think of anything else to do content-wise, which is really sad because Amber really could be vlogging quite a bit about a bunch of different stuff, and she's not, because she can't fathom it. You know, she's not creative enough to come up with those things, and she won't listen to her audience. So when we say things like, if you would just have a video format that you followed, you would have at least a default video format, like wake up, show us your breakfast, show us your morning routine, but do it every time you make a video. Show us your outfit of the day. You know, sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. Show us what your lunch is. When you go out, take us with you. I get that your family doesn't want to be on camera, but that doesn't mean you can't film more than 2 seconds of you being out and about. We know you can do it. We've seen it before. That kind of stuff. Show us your night routine. You claim you have one. Show it to us. Show us what you're making for dinner or eating for dinner or ordering for dinner. And I get that she's real shy about showing us her foodstuffs right now because she's worried about backlash. And it's just, here's the other thing, Amber. It doesn't matter what you do. So what do you care? No matter what you do, somebody's going to have some kind of snarky remark about it. So just screw us all and just do it. All right. Anyway, that's enough of that. But what we're going to look at with this AMA or this Q&A, it's a very curated Q&A. Yes, I think half of the questions are real. I think the other half are probably her making stuff up because she didn't want to answer any of the actual questions that she got. So she came up with questions that she feels like are things she wants to talk about or little bits of information that she's projecting out there. And I think it's because, as you know, we remember the wifey era, the beginning of the wifey era. Amber was trying very hard to show this cutesy, girly, dainty girl persona online, even though we all know what she was like. It was during the live stream era, no less. But she's doing it again in this Q&A where she's answering a lot of questions about her personal life, like her personal life that we want to know about. I've never seen anyone ask her any of these kind of questions in her Q&A, in her, A, the QMAs, or B, her chat, or, you know, her comment section. So obviously these questions she's made up. So, and this is very much a troll. Well, no, not a troll. This is very much a clickbait because the title of this is The Truth About My Weight Loss Surgeon and Everything Else I've Been Avoiding. It's not. The surgeon question is the second to last question, which we may or may not go over. I might react to it, but I might end up cutting it. because it is wildly inappropriate. But you have to watch most of this video to get the question that you actually want, which is smart. It's smart. It keeps people watching. That's important. So that's good for her. I mean, it's a good business move. But as a viewer and somebody who's, as a viewer or someone who has been invested in this story since the weight loss surgery storyline, it's kind of aggravating because the questions that come before it are at best vapid. So, all right. I have her sped up to time and a quarter, as per usual. And so if she's talking quickly, it's really because I have her sped up. I might end up speeding her up to time and a half. If I do, I will let you guys know. And before we get into it any further, I am an anthropologist by training. I am a retired archaeologist of 20 plus years. And those are my credentials. That's why I like looking at Girl World, especially Amber's end of Girl World, because Amber has an interesting world around her that she kind of has created, kind of hasn't creative. I don't know if I want to give her full credit for creating the verse around her. I think it's attracted outside powers or what have you. I don't know really how to explain it, but it would probably piss people off anyway if I did. So there we have it. But I do enjoy just thinking about it. I enjoy thinking about it. I enjoy seeing Amber, watching her interact, watching her create this persona, watching her try to back this persona up. I like watching her body language and how she uses the material culture around her. This goofy, succulent, this succulent pillow here. She's got the dog bed up here. She doesn't have her cherry pillows showing, but she bought some cherry pillows. I think we will see them later on. The ubiquitous choker, her hoop earrings, her eyeliner. There's just certain things that are classically Amber that she purposefully does on the daily because that's the character she wants to project out to her audience. And this is the character that we interact with. And as far as interacting, this is her interacting with her audience. This for her is her give and take, her conversation with her audience, because some of these questions are probably audience questions. Most of these are not. I think these are things that she wishes her audience would ask her, or she thinks her audience would ask her, or something like that. But because it's what she wishes for or believes, that this is the conversation that she wants to be having with her audience, which tells us a lot about how she wishes she was perceived by her audience. I've always said Amber wants to be like the big sister or the older cousin figure in all of our lives. She wants to be like the person we all turn to when we have questions about boys or fashion or just life. What do I do? How do I know if he likes me? Cousin Amber, big sis Amber, like she wants that kind of interaction from her audience. She wants to be seen as not necessarily an authority, though she does view herself as one, but just as someone like an elder of the community, kind of a thing. Anyway, at this point, she is an elder of the community, but I'm not trying to say 33 is ancient. I'm just saying she's been on YouTube for 10 years at this point. That's a long time for YouTubers. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. I just hit 4242 today. I'm very excited about that. Thank you. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. All of you rock. I hope my members are enjoying early access to videos. I'm kind of debating if I'm going to do early access on this one, honestly, because it's so... I just feel like it needs to go out like nowish, but I have other videos. So that being said, thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate that as well. And yeah, let's get into this. I think I've rambled enough at this point. You guys ready for Amber to ramble?
Guys, welcome to a new video. So
Hi.
today we have a Q&A. So I
Yay.
went on Instagram and had you guys ask me some questions, and I listed off the ones I want to answer on my MacBook.
It's always interesting to me when she's doing her intros to this and she's trying to be pleasant and personable, because she'll long stare at the camera and she blinks a lot. It's because she's trying to control her expressions and where she looks. She's trying to convey sincerity. And like most people who are faking sincerity, she can't maintain it for long, especially with her default personality. So you get these weird eye contact moments where she's blinking a lot, and it's just a natural reaction to forcing a interaction that's not natural.
And I had 31 questions in total after going through hundreds, but so many are repeats or things that I've already answered or things that maybe I just don't want to talk about. So after about
The third one?
like an hour and a half, I had 31 questions and I was like, that is such a weird number. And I was like, let's do 33. I'm
Okay.
33 years old and threes are a special number in my family. So
No, they're not. I mean, you could have just stopped at I'm 33. That makes as much sense as anything else. And at least you're like, yeah, okay, that at least that number means something. You know, like I'm going to take 42 questions because I'm 42 kind of a thing. To then continue the statement of threes are important in my family and then immediately go into your lie zone. Sure, Amber, just stop. Stop expanding on things.
So I was like, okay, that works out perfect. I really try to choose questions that people have been asking
Twinkie.
a lot of and questions that I haven't really answered before. So let's get into it because we have 33 questions that I need to
I love that this dog didn't even bother to get into bed. It's just laying on the side. It's like, yeah, whatever. This is my life.
answer. First question is, would you do an interview done by the H3 podcast?
Notice me, senpai. Sorry.
Yes, I would. I would be extremely nervous though.
You should be. It's like me saying, yes, I would go on a Joe Rogan interview. I would have to be insane, I guess.
Because I know how Ethan is. He is unbiased.
Because you two are BFF. This is the parasocial relationship stuff coming out. Anytime Amber gets infatuated with a larger YouTuber especially, she imagines this relationship with them and she'll talk about, I know, they know me, I know them, kind of language starts coming out, and she starts talking as if they interact on the regular, or she does weird things like she's got a crush on Alex's Shook, and I know she DMs him sometimes, and I just think that's kind of weird. Where else was I going with this? Oh, the whole parasocial thing. She did it with the Trisha Paytas. She did it with Trisha Paytas when Trisha Paytas said something to the effect of, I'd love to have Amber on my podcast or something like that before Trisha even offered that, assuming that's real. Amber was like, I'd love to be on the Trisha Paytas podcast. Kind of a thing. And now she's doing this with H3 because she saw on a very short clip of their show that she popped up as the next recommendation style video for their TikTok, to which several people have pointed out, not just in my comment section, but in other people's videos, that that's not his personal account. That's the account they use just for the show, apparently. I don't watch this show, by the way. So these are just things I have picked up from other people who apparently do. She's decided now that since that happened, Ethan watches her and he's a fan. And it's like, no. A, they completely ignored that it even popped up. They didn't say boo about it. And secondly, if that is the account they're using for the show, that's not his personal account. He's probably not watching ambient shows on there. That's not the account he goes home and scrolls on. He has no idea. I mean, maybe he knows who you are because a lot of people know of Amberlynn. That doesn't mean we know you and you don't know us. But it's just that kind of a thing. And so now she's decided in her head that they're friends and she's going to get interviewed. She's been dropping hints that she wants to be on the H3 podcast since back in the wifey era, before they even broke up. So, notice me, senpai.
he has no filter, and it's like, what does he
Neither do
think of
you.
me and what would he say? But
She's got such a girl crush on him.
I would totally do it because I love them. Does your mom remember how she found out you were gay, and can she share her version / side of the story? So that's actually something that me and my mom have recently talked about. Because we like to reminisce. We talk about the hard stuff, the fun stuff, like just things that we experienced together as mother and daughter when we were younger. And that is a topic that
I'm not buying it.
has come up. And I actually have asked her, I was like, Mom, do you want to share your side? Because I've actually gotten people asking this before. She said she would, but she doesn't want to like physically be on camera right now. So I think it would just be like her voice or something. But I think that'd be fun to like hear the mother side to a coming out story. I think a lot of people could actually use that. I know there are a lot of...
She keeps dipping into her lie zone and then cutting it. Like she's edited those out. I don't know if she's doing it because she knows we're looking for it, or if, you know, she went off on some kind of like unreal tangent that even she was like, oh, maybe not.
People watching me who have not come out to their parents, or just like anyone in their life in general.
This is what I'm talking about. She wants to be big gay cis Amber. Come talk to me about your coming out stories. Listen to my coming out story. It'll help you come out.
And I think that like the more exposure you have of coming out stories can actually make it seem less scary. Where did you get the idea to start wearing
I don't disagree with her on that one.
diamonds for your makeup? Speaking of, today I decided to do 2 here and then 1 here on each side.
Okay, Jenny.
I'm just like obsessed. Honestly, I didn't get the idea from anywhere.
You were so full of it. She couldn't even stay out of here for 5 seconds. I totally didn't see anybody on TikTok or anywhere else wearing these rhinestones next to their eyes. Like, I've never seen anybody else do that. Okay.
just remember I was doing my makeup. This was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, how can I switch this up? Because the only way I ever switch up my makeup is like...
You could actually wear eyeshadow. You could learn how to do actual eye looks.
Like the length or the thickness of my winged eyeliner, and I was like, I want to do something different. I'm not really an eyeshadow girly. I have eyeshadows.
You could go back to those the fake eyelashes. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing. I don't like them because they feel uncomfortable, but I mean, I've seen people wear them that look nice on them.
But it's never really been my thing. And then I like to wear glitter in the corner of my eye a lot. I didn't do that today though. So that's like another thing
Cool.
that I do. And I actually recently started that just like a few months ago. So I was like, what else can I do
The glitter thing? You've been wearing glitter for a while, so.
to elevate my look? And I was like, you know what? Diamonds. I personally love it because I think it's
They are a girl's best friend. All right, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
beautiful, but not only that, but like you can do it however you want. So it's always going to be a different look, because honestly, I'm never going to stop my winged eyeliner. I feel like it suits me. It's literally me. You guys love it. I love it. Have you considered cutting?
Love is a strong word. I know some people really don't like her wings. I can't do them. I'm either very bad at it or my eye shape just does not tolerate a wing. I can't figure out which, but anytime I try to do them myself, they look terrible. So when I see them on people and they look good, in my opinion, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I mean, that looks really nice. Though there have been a couple people in my comments section, mark that one off, talking about how it doesn't look great to them. I don't know. I like it. I think it looks fine, but I'm also not a professional makeup person.
Your hair shorter to help it recover. So yes, but not the way that some of you suggest. Some of you are like, go up to here to your shoulder. Never gonna. But as I sit here, you guys don't even know it, but as I sit here, my hair is actually quite short.
Also, you were pointing at your neck, not your shoulder. Your shoulders should be lower than your mid-neck, so.
Shorter than it was literally just 2 hours ago. So I cut my own hair.
Good for
and
you.
It already feels so much better. Not only that, but I haven't used heat on my hair. I also said goodbye Tresemme, and I have moved on to a different shampoo and conditioner, and I notice already how much better my hair looks.
Have you figured out how the conditioner works? Because that's my next question.
So here I am showing you a clip of my hair from my last vlog, and then I'm
Look at her. She's so smug.
showing you my hair today, where no, it's not perfect, but
You know, some people have told her to cut it off right around here. I know that's where I was telling her to chop it. I do think she could still come up to like her neckline here of her shirt, which would be, I guess, her armpits. Because of the way she wears her hair, it would be around her armpits. So I still think she could take that much off and it would make the kind of the frizziness go away because this is probably all dead as well.
It just looks and feels so much healthier. I am very glad that I decided to take a pair of kitchen scissors and just chop, 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 chop. How do you
I believe that.
manage your mental health with all of the hate that you get?
Yes, tell us, Guru Lynn.
So honestly, the best way I can describe this is like, say there is just this invisible layer between me and the hate that I receive.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, 99% of my life, with all of the hate that I do consume, it doesn't pass that layer. And I think with time, that layer has gotten thicker, it has gotten stronger, because I used to not handle the hate like I handle it now.
Does that look like the face of somebody who's unbothered? Does she handle the hate better than she used to? We don't get lectured as much. I will give her that. And she doesn't lecture us about weird things as much. When she's going off on us, she's usually like big mad about something. Though I will say that this shit she decides to be angry about is kind of weird sometimes, like irrelevant to the overall conversation, but whatever it is, it's set her off. I'm trying to remember what the last one was. I don't remember.
Sometimes the hate can pass through it, but it's very, very rare. And not only that, I try not to put myself in situations where I see the hate. I purposely don't go into my comment section because that is the brutalest place I can go.
She's not wrong.
There's Reddits about me. Don't go on there.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Gosh, there's like other places and other forums you can go to. I don't go to any of those places. That's
Smart. But she has. Yeah, no, she has. This is the face of, oh shit, I can't unsee what I've seen. So she has at least dipped her toe in there once or twice.
one of the biggest reasons why I don't even have a Twitter anymore. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I'm sure if I consumed hate about myself on a day-to-day basis, it would reach through those layers that I have in front of me, but I don't consume hate about me. You guys message me in private and you guys are fucking amazing. You guys are
I've seen your comment section. You're not going to convince me that you're getting all of these messages in your DMs that are like that. Though, as people have pointed out, both Becky and Wifey, and I believe this Valentine, have all three slipped into her DMs to woo her. So
are honestly so freaking sweet to me and so kind.
She's making that shit up.
And it's like, that's the stuff that I'm always thinking about. That's the type of people that I imagined who are watching me. Ever get discouraged from losing weight because of your diagnosis of a lipedema? Since lipedema is not curable and it cannot go away,
it's treatable. I keep going back to Jordan Underwood with the whole like I need to check in with them, but I keep going back to Jordan and Jordan's journey to get their lipolipedema taken care of, or at least treated. And the wrapping alone, I believe they were going to like a physical therapist who specialized, or a massage therapist who specialized in that. And between that treatment, switching to basically a keto style diet, wearing wraps and compression garments, and also doing exercise in a pool, they've lost a significant amount of weight. I don't know if they've lost like hundreds of pounds, but they've lost a noticeable amount of weight, at least to my eye. And they've regained their mobility, and the appearance of their leg. I mean, they're still morbidly obese, but they have their leg looks like a leg now, and not just like a tube. So it does work. That doesn't mean it's gone away. It just means the treatment is working to reduce the effects of it. And I know that you can have surgery to have the whatever one's the fat one. I always get comments, but I can't keep them straight. I'm sorry. But anyway, I know you can have the abnormal fat tissue removed, but that's pretty much the only way you can have it get rid of it, kind of a thing. So in that aspect, she is correct. However, there are effective treatments out there that Amber could do. Amber has the time and the money to do it. So Amber just doesn't, because it is quite a bit of effort. I remember Jordan having more than one meltdown about the treatment for their lipolipedema, because they have both. So I know that it's effort, but it's also pretty well documented that losing weight, you can't get rid of it once you have it, but losing weight will help treat it. Okay? But Amber, again, it's effort. She's not going to do it.
Yes, I do get discouraged because I know that there is a large portion of my body that will not go away with weight loss. And that's hard for me to absorb, hard for me to accept, hard for me to process. I will always have like a disfigured body. I'll never have the body that I want. But I'm also so far past that like vain, oh, I just want to look better. It's all about health. It's all about the fact that I do not want to die. So yeah, having that fear.
That's still not enough motivator for her. That's the scary part. She says these things, but she says these things every few months. So, and she hasn't lost significant weight the entire time I've been watching her. So it's not enough of a motivator for her.
And feeling those discouragement feelings, all of that is no more stronger than like the fact that I want to live. That feeling is so much stronger than all the other stuff. But I'm only human, so of course I feel discouraged by this diagnosis. So the next question kind of goes into
that she's had for a very long time. I'm going to speed her up to time and a half, mainly because I'm talking too much. Anyway, let's go
to like what I was talking about. What is currently motivating you to lose weight? And it's pretty simple. It's like, I don't want any more health complications due to my weight, and I do not want to die anytime soon. Like, I want to live for at least another 40 years. And I know that sounds crazy because people my size, we don't live that long. What is your next goal weight since you have reached your recent goal of 499 pounds? I think my next one is 469 because from my remembrance, that is the lowest I remember weighing in a very long time.
From your memory? Yes. What was her weight when she started? It was like in the high 300s, I think, when she started YouTube way back in the day.
Years, probably like 7 years, maybe more. When I get there, that'll be really exciting for me. How often do you listen to music? So I listen to music every single day. I would say for hours, maybe like 2 to 3 hours a day.
Who asks this question? Who doesn't listen to music, for starters? So why would you even ask this question? And secondly, why would you answer it? This is such a non-question. It's why does this question exist? Who asks this, and why did Amber go, oh yeah, that's the question I want to answer? Like, this isn't even a softball question. This is like a non-question.
Maybe more. It depends on what I'm doing. I will listen to music when I am walking Twinkie. I will listen to music when I am cleaning. I'll listen to music when I'm showering. Just whenever there's like a time where I'm doing something and I want like a noise, it's either that or YouTube. Do you still enjoy doing YouTube? Yes, I love everything about my side of YouTube when it comes to filming, editing, uploading. I enjoy the whole process. I think it's really fun. I've always loved it. I love how I was able to turn on.
She hasn't always loved it, no, but it's not fibbing too hard right now.
Hobby into a job, into something that makes it to where I have a roof over my head every single day, and every single day I am thankful for you guys. So thank you so much.
She's totally not.
For that, and for letting me do something that I thoroughly love doing, and I will forever love it. I really truly believe that. I understand why a lot of people might think I don't enjoy it anymore because I don't upload as much as I used to.
Yeah, that would be a good indicator.
Reason for that has nothing to do with like enjoyment or if I actually like YouTube still. So no worries, I still love it, and I am here to stay.
So why aren't you uploading then? So I guess the next natural progression of that question is, if you're not out of love with YouTube, why don't you post regularly anymore? Or even reliably anymore? And I know she's going to be like, oh, it's my mentals. But okay, you've always had that problem, even when you're posting regularly. So you're not going to do anything about that. So again, the question still stands. Why? What is the actual reason why you're not posting regularly or reliably anymore?
What's your relationship with your dad like? I actively do not have a relationship with him, and I haven't had one in a very, very long time.
This is a weird question, not because it's an outrageous question or anything. It's just a weird question for her to accept and to answer, And I'm not entirely sure what she's getting out of projecting this question at us, other than it gives her a moment to like cry, like a sympathetic kind of a cry. And that's the only thing I can come up with here is like she's trying to humanize herself with this question. I feel like it's maybe a little too personal for YouTube, but that's just a me thing. I wouldn't talk about it if it was me, but I'm not Amber, so.
I think out of the 33 years that I have been alive, I think I have only had a true relationship with him for maybe a year of my life. And that was when I was around like 11. I was living in an all girls group home. And I think at the time, my dad was doing really well in his sobriety and he would come visit me. And I lived actually in Upper Lake, California at the time. So my dad, he would rent out boats and we would go on the boat and we would go fishing. And those are the memories. Sorry. Whoa. Okay. Those are the memories that I like to remember. I'll probably never have a relationship with him again. And that's due to my choice, but it's also due to the fact that he just doesn't even try. He is still in his addiction and it's bad. And he has a lot of health problems and he's going through a lot. And I love my dad very much. I love him unconditionally. I love him with all of me, but I just know that me having a relationship with him would do more harm than good, and that's just reality. Would you recommend Ozempic? So I think that if you have a large amount of weight to lose and you're obviously under doctor's supervision and they think it's the right thing for you to do, and now you're just sitting there like, should I do this? I would say yes, give it a try, see how your body reacts. I know for me, I had some unpleasant symptoms, but ultimately in the end, I'm willing to even try it again. So if you're debating, I'd say try it. Ozempic has saved a lot of people's lives and it has made a lot of people lose weight. And
She's an expert, y'all. Because she took it for 4 weeks. She took it for 4 weeks before she gave up on it, claiming that it's something her gallbladder, something binge eating, something her doctors didn't inform her fully on what Ozempic was going to do, something. Yeah, sure. The reason why I'm not stopping it more at this point is because what she's saying is true. I mean, there's no shame in using medical assistance to lose weight. So if that's what you want to do, go for it. And no one should be shaming you for it. And if they are, F them, you know? So what she's saying is not, I don't have an objection to. It's just her reasons for not doing Ozempic anymore are very flimsy.
And I feel like that's really important for health reasons. So yeah. So this kind of goes into the last question. Why are you open to Ozempic again, even if it can mess with your gallbladder? Because rapid weight loss.
Okay. And this is one of those questions where I'm convinced that these are fake, because the question as she said it was, why would you consider Ozempic again if it gave you problems with your gallbladder? I may have missed it. And maybe she only puts this on her Instagram, which I don't follow that closely. But I've never heard her say she wanted to go back on Ozempic or Wegovy or any of those. I've never heard her say that. So for her to have answered the first question saying, I would totally go back on Ozempic, and then the follow-up question is, why are you saying you'd go back on it if blah, 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 blah?
Yo-yo dieting, losing a large amount of weight, all of that messes with your gallbladder regardless. I'm the queen of yo-yo dieting. You guys know that. I want to lose a large chunk of weight. So it's
yo-yo dieting implies that you're losing a significant amount of weight and then regaining it within short amounts of time. Amber's never really lost more than like 15, 20 pounds in any length of time. So her yo-yo dieting is less of a yo-yo and more of a straight line going up. I honestly can't think of a time that she wasn't sick, that she lost a significant amount of weight and then regained it again. That's yo-yo dieting. You lose the weight, you gain it back. You lose the weight, you gain it back. This is the only other time I've seen her lose a good chunk of weight and before regaining it back. And the last time she lost weight like this, she was sick. Putting that out there.
It's like my gallbladder has had issues in the past already due to the yo-yo dieting and to the weight loss. So it's like, what's another thing?
I don't know what that was. Sorry.
I'm being supervised by a doctor and they're like, you know what, it's fine, I think your gallbladder will be fine, then I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna not lose weight just because of my gallbladder.
Weight loss surgery, there was some complication with your gallbladder. The last time you were on Ozempic, you stopped taking it because there was some complication with your gallbladder. The keto diet you quit doing because something your gallbladder. I feel like there's another time in there where she stopped doing whatever the hell she was doing because her gallbladder. Okay. Look at this face though. She's mad. She's mad because she has quit many a time because of her gallbladder.
Do you think living in Oklahoma will allow you to grow or no? Oh, absolutely, because it has already allowed me to grow. This is the
And flourish.
most independent I have ever been in my whole entire life. I feel my
You are effectively trapped in your apartment unless someone else comes to get you. Because and I don't want her to drive, so don't take this that way, but she won't fit in most Ubers. I know she'll fight me on that one, but prove it. Film yourself getting into an Uber. Anyway, she can't walk places. Like, it takes her over an hour to walk a mile. Fortunately, she lives inside of a city, it looks like, so I guess that's not the worst thing, but as far as being independent, she can't go to the store by herself. She can't go to the doctor by herself. She can't go to a restaurant by herself. How are you independent? I feel like you're more dependent in this phase than you were when you were 300 and some odd pounds and you could go to school. You could hold a job. You could, I mean, granted, she still couldn't drive, but she was in a body where she could have learned to drive safely. What else were you able to do? You were able to go out and socialize. You rode the bus. Like, there's Mr. Snowflake has read social posts of hers where she was where she was taking public transportation to get around. Like, you were far more independent then than you are now.
my mental health improving. I feel my emotional health improving. I feel my physical health. I am losing weight. I am independent. Yes, I don't drive. A lot of people don't, though. You can.
I don't care about the driving part. You don't take public transportation. You don't use Uber. You are dependent on another person coming and getting you to get around. Like, there are lots of people who don't drive, who walk, they ride a bike, they take public transportation, be that the train or the bus or the underground. They can call an Uber to come get them or a Lyft to come get them. They could fly on a plane if they wanted to. They could ride a train across the country. That's independence. You have eaten yourself into a point where it takes you an hour to walk a mile. That should be the first thing you should work on.
Be an independent person and still not drive.
Also, you didn't know how to do your laundry. You didn't know how to change a light bulb. You don't know how to hang pictures. You didn't know how to connect your TV up. You clearly have limited cooking skills. And I'm not trying to be mean about that because I'm the last person that comes at her for it, except her knife skills terrify me. But my point is on the scale of, like, being independent, you're the most independent person I've ever seen.
So yes, I am already growing and improving as a person, like living on my own. Question for me is, will I continue to grow as a person here? Or am I eventually going to want to move on and go somewhere else? I don't know. What's one?
That, I think, is foreshadowing because I personally think, this is my opinion, there's a question later on. I think she's already talking with Valentine to move in together and possibly move to where Valentine is because that's just how Amber operates. So she's either going to move Valentine in with her, and she's in a 1-bedroom, so I don't know how that's going to work. Or she's going to have to move in with Valentine.
Thing people rag you about online that you feel bad about. So by rag me, I'm assuming the person meant like something that people like constantly bring up. And the first thing I think of is just like,
not necessarily. This is another one of those questions where she kind of misses it. But she does answer it, I guess.
My ignorance with like certain words that I've used years and years ago. Like, I'm talking over 7 years ago. Since then, I have apologized and owned up for my mistakes. And I think that's literally the only thing you can do when you're ignorant towards something is own up to your mistakes, apologize, learn, and grow from that. Do you think the therapy you did?
She I personally think she still thinks she didn't do anything wrong and that everyone overreacted, just going off of her body language in that moment. And also, I don't really. Okay, she did put that email out when she was with Destiny. Destiny decided to drop the bomb, if you will. Here you go. I don't like Destiny. So, and the fact that Destiny did that without thinking, like it was just, oh, now is the opportune time to do this. After kissing my girlfriend. Okay, that tells me a lot about you. And that doesn't make me like you. But I still don't think she did put out kind of a I'm sorry you're offended email or social post about that when it happened, but I still don't think she believes she did anything wrong.
For weight loss surgery helped you, because as a viewer of 8 years, I have noticed a huge positive change in you. Well,
That person's full of shit. And I'm pretty sure this is a question that she came up with.
thank you for saying that. It actually means a lot to me. I also noticed it as well. But I
She's
think
lying.
that the therapy definitely helped. It helped a lot, because
She's so lying.
I think that might be the first time in my whole life, and I've done a lot of therapy in my life, but that is the first time in my whole life that I've ever seen one psychologist for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end.
No, you didn't.
And it's almost as if like my whole weight loss surgery journey was just like meant to happen for that very reason. Because it's like I've learned so much about myself, and there were so many like situations from my past, especially like in my childhood, where it's like if I would even think about it, like instantly tears. And now it's like I can talk maturely and clearly about those situations where it's like I'm okay and I'm here and I'm well. I've
She is full of it. I am still convinced that she makes up the therapy stories. I think at some point in this recent mental health kick thing that she's been on for the last 4 years, I'll give it. I think at some point she has seen one, maybe two therapists once. And from there, she's making the rest of it up. She's watching things like Euphoria, or is Euphoria the new one? That's basically Girl Interrupted, which is another movie that she's mentioned she's watched. She likes to watch, or just her reality television. She likes to watch television, and she likes to watch YouTube, and she likes to watch movies and stuff and that kind of thing. And then she thinks that's how reality is. She does this a lot, actually. And that's what I think she's doing. I think she's watching things and consuming things that are about other people going through therapy or dealing with their mental trauma or what have you. And she's like, oh, that's how that works. Therefore, if I just say these things and recount these character experiences, people will believe that I have done that as well. And the trick is that for people who have been in therapy for, you know, lifelong trauma or other things that are just difficult to get over, this is not how it works. You don't see a therapist for 12 weeks and suddenly you're over childhood trauma. That's not how it works, especially when you take into consideration she won't take medication at all. Even when she's been prescribed medication, she refuses to take it. So
feel myself healing from things that I never ever thought that I would, and getting diagnosed with PTSD and also BPD. It opened my eyes tremendously. It's like things that I used to not be aware of, I'm now aware of.
And now she's going to go off on a tangent that's really going to make me mad. So let's ride this one out together.
And I'm able to like rationally be like, okay, so this is the reason you're this way. Now it's your choice to like find that rational side of you, take a deep breath, calm down, and do the right thing. So this kind of goes with the last question, but it's because of the answer that I am going to give. The question is, what is the worst habit that you do when you're in love with someone? So not only do I have BPD, but I have massive anxious attachment issues. Like,
somebody's been trolling TikTok for mental health keywords.
It is so freaking bad. But when I'm in love with someone, they become my everything. And I know it's because of the BPD. I know it's because of the anxious attachment. So it gets so bad. It's to the point where it's like my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, the way my day goes, etc., is all based on the way that they are treating me.
So it's their fault. Yeah, listen to the language. Her mental stability in these situations is dependent on how they are treating her, not how she is dealing with it or how she is coping. No, it's how they are treating her.
Small change or tweak in tone or words can literally feel like the end of the world to me. I never understood why. I always thought I was just dramatic. That's what I was called, my whole life in relationships. It's just
And here she's going to weave this very weak story of like basically what one could consider verbal and or emotional abuse from her former partners.
like, you're dramatic. Why are you so irrational? Why do you act this way? Like, you're just being crazy. Like, hearing those things constantly, it's just like, yeah, that's how I felt. Like, I'm just being dramatic. I'm just drama queen. And it's just like, no, like, now that I know the reason, it's like, wow, I have BPD. That's why I'm doing this.
Literally every person I know in my comments section who has BPD is like, they just scream when she goes on these tangents. I am not one person that has this, or at least I've never been diagnosed with it. So there you have that. So I just go off of what they tell me. Granted, the people in my comment section are not every person on the planet who has BPD. God help us if Amber is actually an example, because, which I don't believe she is, by the way. Yeah. Amber is not a good role model for somebody who's trying to learn how to cope with, deal with, and navigate any kind of mental health problems, because she's just faking it for the most part. And what she isn't faking, she refuses to get treated. All this crap she's talking about, oh, I've learned how to do this. I've learned how to do that. I've learned this about myself. When? When have you done this?
Like, I know this isn't normal. I know this isn't rational. Having that answer has helped me so much. Like, you guys have no idea how
it has helped her have an excuse so that when she doesn't get her way and she decides to throw a temper tantrum, she now has something she can blame it on. And therefore, people can't come at her and be like, hey, could you maybe act like an adult? She can now be like, no, I can't. I have BPD. It's not how it works.
how empowering it is to have an answer. I'm gonna actually give an example. So
Please do.
someone I'm in a relationship with usually messages me every morning at 9 a.m. and says good morning to me. That's something I'm used to.
This is what Valentine is doing right now.
That's something that I expect. So if it comes 9:30, I start to think they hate me. They want nothing to do with me. They're cheating on me. That's where my brain goes automatically. I'm not gonna lie. It would probably start happening around 9:03 a.m. So then what that would cause me to do is text them. Why haven't you talked to me? Is everything okay? Like multiple texts. Because
Or like what you did with Destiny, where you enlisted people that Destiny worked with to act as a spy for you so that you could text them to ask them what Destiny was doing. That's totally normal. This is an excuse. She's just using it as an excuse. She's not saying, I'm not going to do this. She's saying, this is why I do this.
not only is that my BPD being like triggered, but it's also my anxious attachment being triggered. But
How dare they trigger your problems? Your triggers are your problem.
now that I have the answers, where in the past, if I did that, that would just be me being dramatic. I'm a crazy girlfriend. Like, what the heck are you doing? Now it's like, if that was to happen, I would send one text. You okay, babe? A simple, you okay? Yes, I'd still be like on the inside having a little bit of anxiety, like, oh my God, what's happening? Because I can't change those things about myself right now. That's going to come with time. That's going to come with therapy. That's going to come with help.
None of these things you're getting, by the way.
But the fact that I'm able to stare the same situation in the face, whereas it happening 3 years ago and I freaked the F out, or it happening now and I'm like, it's gonna be okay, Amberlynn. I thoroughly feel like my psychologist from Kentucky changed my life. Like, because I'm able to see things so different than I was prior to the diagnosis.
Man, I wish all I had to do was go to therapy 12 times. It wasn't even 12 weeks. It was just 12 times. I wish all I had to do was go to therapy 12 times and all of my problems would be solved. Wouldn't that be great?
Trust me, I know it can be exhausting for someone to be with someone like that. 100% agree. But it's
Do you though? Do you?
Also exhausting for me. It's very exhausting. But I try my very hardest to be upfront with the person that I'm interested in. Like, these are my issues.
I'm very upfront with the people I choose to date. I give them a laundry list of things that they're not allowed to do, and should they transgress against that list, I'm going to go off on them. But it's not my fault. They're the ones that triggered me, and I can't do anything about it because I have BPD.
This is sometimes how I react to certain situations. I just feel like it's very important to have open communication around anything in a relationship, but especially mental health and the way that you react as a person. How many?
Okay, first off, let me say some things here. I don't doubt that Amber has issues. I don't. She's been very open about mostly open about her childhood. So I am aware that there are reasons that Amber is the way that she is. Amber's 33. Amber's been on her own, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, since she was 18. At some point, she has to step up and go, this is my life, and I am the only one who can improve or destroy it. And right now, she's just collecting diagnoses like Pokemon. And anytime someone comes at her over something, she just reaches into her little bag, pulls one out, and throws it into the arena and attacks people with it. And BPD is just the most recent one that she's collected. And again, I don't believe anymore that she was formally diagnosed. I think she's picked it up off of TikTok and she's decided that this is what she has because it sounds like her. Whether she does or does not have it is not the point. The point is I don't believe she's been formally diagnosed, and I believe she's just using it as her new shield anytime her audience wants to come at her for being creepy and basically stalking her exes. And people are like, oh, don't you have to be there in person to stalk somebody? No, cyber stalking exists for a reason. Anyway.
How many times have you ordered takeout in March, and what was it? So today's actually March 12th, and I've only ordered takeout 3 times. So I'm actually very proud of that. Round of applause. I mean, this is coming from a really pop who would order takeout a couple times a day. So I would say I'm very, very proud of that. What show did you audition for last year? So I am friends with someone from 1,000 Pound Best Friends, and we thought it would be a good idea for me to be on that show. So she talked to the producers, and they're like,
who is going to be the other half of that? The person that she's talking about has already been on 1,000 Pound Best Friends. So, I mean, if she's actually talking about this person. And, I mean, the whole premise of the show is that there are 2 of you. Both of you within, the 500-pound range, because that's how you get to 1,000. So who was going to be the other person in the show? Who was her friend that was the other 500-pound person?
You know what? Let's give her an interview. So I had an interview. Feline was my girlfriend at the time, and she was 100% supportive. We knew that we were going to have to actually move to a different state to be a part of that show, and we were both willing to do it. We were willing and ready. I did the interview. It actually went amazing, but I never heard back from them. And I'm not going to lie to you. This happens a lot. I have been interviewed for a few weight loss shows, and it always goes really good. They hype me up and they make me feel really good, but they never call me back. They never even tell me, sorry, we didn't choose you. It's just there's nothing. So it would have been an amazing experience. I would have absolutely loved it because the girl I'm friends with from that show, I don't want to say her name because I don't know how she would feel about that. I'm sure she wouldn't care, but y'all, you know me, I'm afraid, the doxing, I might say the wrong thing.
I mean, she should be. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. She should be.
I have become more private on my channel. I do want to get better with that and start sharing more, but it's hard to balance what am I allowed to say versus what am I not allowed to say. I don't want anyone mad at me. So, but yeah, it was 1,000 Pound Best Friends. And
again, you can't do anything right, so what do you care? Seriously, just do what you're gonna do and do what you're gonna do. You could be a perfect saint from this point forward, and there are still people who will come at you from every angle. So, Amber, what do you care? You can't win. Just be you.
And I don't know, it would have been great. I really do feel that. Current love life. So I actually do have a current love life, and it is with my Valentine. There was a phase where I was talking to multiple people at once, and my feelings grew here and there and this and that. And I just realized that talking to multiple people at once is not me.
Amberlynn.
It never has been. I never did anything like that before. But it's people are you're single.
Pretty much every relationship that she has had on YouTube, and even the relationship with Casey, she has been talking with someone else long before the breakup occurred. Like, Casey said there was like 2 other girls, one of which was crap, Crystal. And when she broke up with Crystal, that was the beginning of Destiny. I think Destiny caught her off guard, but I feel like there was like a cheating episode in there as well. But I think Destiny caught Amber off guard, and that's why that breakup was so traumatic for her. And then with Becky, she was still talking with Destiny for a long time, and then I think there was another accusation of cheating somewhere in there. Or was it Becky cheated on her, which I don't know if I believe that one. And then with Wifey, there was this mystery girl that after they had mutually broken up, Wifey got jealous about because Amber was paying attention to that girl. And that caused the final straw in the breakup, basically. And now she's been talking to like 2 people. So I don't believe this statement. I think she thinks she's a serial monogamist, but the past behavior and documented behavior shows that she's not.
Try it out, talk to different people. And I did. I experienced it. Great. It's just not for me. So my Valentine is the only person that I'm interested in, and the only person that I want to be interested in, and that I will be interested in. So yeah, I do have a love life.
And the other end of that part is, this is my personal opinion, Amber's a master manipulator, and I said this during the live. And so I know when we're watching her, it's like, oh, I can see right through it. Yeah, you can, because you're not living with it 24/7. And anyway, so when you're dealing with that in your face 24/7, or even just having that laser focused on you as an individual, it's really easy to get sucked into it and not be able to see the forest for the trees. And so when we, the audience, can see through Amber's love bombing and her performativeness, it's hard for the people who are real close to her to see that, because it's just harder to see it when you're right there. It's also harder for her to control 2 people or multiple people at the same time, which is why she says this a lot. Like, when she gets into a relationship, her attention narrows down to the person she's dating, and that person becomes her friend, her social life, her transportation, her mother. Not to be confused with her actual mother. But the reason for that is it's so much easier for her to control one person than it is for her to spread her attention across multiple people, which I think is why she doesn't have a lot of friends, or she doesn't have a lot of friends or even acquaintances. Is just because, like, once her attention drifts away from someone, they just don't hit her radar anymore. They're unimportant to her, so she doesn't invest anything in them anymore. And that's why trying to date 2 people is probably fairly difficult for her, because she's got to keep things straight. She's got to remember what she's told one of them versus the other. She's got to remember things that they have told her, because in the early stages, remember, she's trying to convince them that she's the perfect attentive girlfriend. And then later is when, later after she's gotten them in her web, is when she can start being more herself. But it's probably very distracting to try to do that with multiple people. And so, yeah, I think it is easier for her to focus on one person versus another. This is all my opinion, by the way.
What 5 things would you want your partner to be like? I'll name some things, like obviously like trustworthy and loyal. I want someone who's loving and affectionate, like with their words and physical touch. I want someone who's obsessed with me. Like, mutual obsession is definitely green flag coded for sure.
I don't know what green flag coded means, and I don't actually care. But mutual obsession, it's one thing to jokingly say that. It's another thing to mean it. And she does. She wants whoever she's with to be just as obsessed with her as she gets with them, because she thinks that's love. Obsession is not love. I don't know who needs to hear that. Anyway, I guess I should say just my opinion, but I'm very firm on that opinion.
And I want someone who's like weird and funny and quirky and silly because that is very much me. And I want to laugh with you and be weird with you. And I just love that. Like someone with a good sense of humor. Who
I think that's why her and Destiny got along so well, especially in the early years. Yeah, they were together like 4 years. Is because Destiny is quirky and weird and inappropriate and like does not care. So I get why the two of them meshed so well, because Destiny also encouraged that in Amber, up to a point. But I also think that's why it took her so long to get over Destiny, because I do think she felt like she was being her true self when she was around Destiny, at least in the beginning. And then like around all of her other girlfriends, she's got to perform being what she thinks they want as a girlfriend, and I'm sure that gets I'm sure that kind of grates on her a little bit because that's not who she is.
is your favorite ex? I'm going to say Feline. Is wifey number one the same as wifey number 2? Wifey number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all the same person.
At least she finally admits it.
Has Nikocado Avocado apologized yet for implying you lied about having cancer? No.
That was weird for me. I'm sorry. It's still weird for me. I know there's still people, there's not a lot of people, but there are still people that are like, no, she never had cancer, or they have their own theories on it. I think that's weird. I think that's strange. I don't know why Nikocado Avocado made that up, because I do believe he made it up. There's definitely something going on. I don't know what, but I genuinely want to know why he decided to be so vile, because I personally think that was like uncalled for. It just blew me away. Why would you ever do something like that? So I don't know why he's doing it. I'm very curious, because there's clearly some reason. It could be because he is a professional troll. It could be that he was just like, what would piss people off the most? And that was what he came up with. So it could just be randomness, but it does really feel like there's something personal there. So I don't know. I could be reading into the situation way too much.
He hasn't. And I think that's just very low of him, especially because he still says quotes and does things that I do in my videos and his videos. It's just like
ride the scooter around Walmart.
Do you have a heart? Like at all? It'd be different like if he was just like another YouTuber who just wanted to talk shit. But I did consider him my friend, and I did talk to him about my.
And there's that parasocial relationship thing popping up again. Like, they talked briefly about doing some kind of collab, and then one of the two of them pulled out of it. And that's it. They're not. Why would you consider? I mean, I get being a friendly acquaintance. Like, that's a thing. But friends?
Cancer privately in text messages. So it's just like, for him to do something like that is just really, really wrong. Would I like an apology? Sure. Like, be a good, decent human being. Who is your favorite reactor in girl world? Definitely Yo Mama, hands down. I feel like we don't really have anyone like that in the community. Someone who's willing to stand up towards bullies.
Amberlynn watching Yo Mama got Zachary mad. Ooh, that's an hour and 20 minutes long. Who the hell is Yo Mama? Respect my chat, we undefeated.
Yo mama! Yo, what's up? It's your boy Yo Mama. Back at it again, Mr. AKA Karen Killer! And it ain't even close.
Is BPD versus a lot?
It ain't even close.
Does FFG have 12 chins?
It ain't even close.
Is Nadar going to jail?
It ain't even close.
Can Just Breeze twerk?
You want that news?
Does SJM
Then
shop
holla
at Baby
at
Gap?
me. You want that news?
Does
You know
Monty
where
wear a
it's at.
cage?
It ain't
Does
even
Jessica
close.
Metzger have a DUI?
I witness news to tell the truth. It ain't even close. I'm never biased, so don't you try it. You know.
What are we watching?
Just talking anyway. But a lot was going on. So yesterday, Amberlynn out of the blue said that as one of her pleasures. How you doing?
Oh my god, he's one of these people. Okay, this is from 8 months ago. So, what were we doing 8 months ago? I don't remember. We'll see how much of this I can put up with.
Is watching Yo Mama, guilty pleasure. If I'm just sitting back or I'm cleaning or I'm washing or whatever I'm doing,
I remember this.
watching some Yo Mama stream. Now, what a lot of these content creators don't understand is people like to enjoy and have fun and be entertained. Now, a lot of these creators don't understand that because they've turned into not only just being crumb bag trash reaction channels, but they've become hate channels, and people don't enjoy watching that shit no more. They just don't get it. They wait, what is going on? People want to have fun. People want to come to a place, have a good time, kick up their feet, get some popcorn, enjoy themselves. And that's what people want. People
I mean, anyway, he's describing the reason why most people watch reaction channels. I mean, yes, people like to talk about it, but I don't think it keeps anyone up all night.
People don't want the CPS calls. People don't want the police being called. People don't want to hear about you going to court. People don't want to hear about your GoFundMe to fund my next lawyer that I'm going to get to prosecute. They don't want that no more. And that's what these people forget. This is YouTube, okay? No more of that. I'm going to have my avatar in the front. I'm not showing my face while I trash some. Those days are coming to an end. And people want to have a good time and people want to enjoy themselves.
What is he talking about?
And people want to watch people that they believe and that and someone that's not a hypocrite, someone that does something wrong and then that can come up and just say, yeah, I did something wrong, I made a mistake, I messed up.
So this is from 8 months ago, and I just found it randomly. I'm not joking. I just Googled for this. Is she referencing this stream from 8 months ago?
A lot of these creators got this, they got their chest out. They want to feel themselves. They never can do nothing wrong.
I do that in private. Thank you.
Don't listen to they don't listen to the people around them, or the people around them are a hug box and a yes crew, and they got a full of chat.
Is he talking about reactors, or is he talking about like Amber and Foodie? Because like Foodie's chat has been referred to as a hug box before. I've never heard anyone use that. I mean, I'm sure there's people who use it for other people, but in girl world, I've never heard anybody refer to like Amber's chat as a hug box. I'm just confused as to who he's talking about. We're not going to watch much more of this though.
Chat full of people that just agree with everything they go and say, but it's different over here. But anyway, now Amberlynn said what she said, and a lot of fucking content creators got up in arms. Here is one of the content creators. His name is...
So is Amber not a content creator?
Zachary Michaels. That's right. Zachary Michaels. Now, listen to me. I got to say this off the rip. I did not know who this guy was. Like, people are like, oh my God, you don't know Zach. Listen.
It is not unsurprising that people don't know who other people are, especially when he has 8.6K subscribers. It's okay. We don't all know who each other are.
The only reason why I know who Zachary Michaels is because Zachary Michaels was the guy when I did the Just Breezin' interview. Just Breezin' was telling me that Garlic Bread wanted to beat up this guy named Zachary Michaels. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, because Garlic's Bread's father saw a Zachary Michaels video talking about Garlic Bread, and Garlic Bread got upset. Now, this is the thing that confused me about the whole situation, okay? Because Garlic Bread said that his dad...
I am vaguely aware of who some of these people are, only because, like, I am very far on the outside of the foodieverse.
Watched a Zachary Michaels video, and Zachary Michaels was talking about Garlic Bread. Now, this is the part that confused me, okay? Garlic Bread's father is a NASCAR mechanic, okay?
And
the question for Garlic Bread, if my father ever walked up to me, Randy Watson, That boy good. If my father ever walked up to me and said, son, I saw Zachary Michaels talking about you. What is wrong with you? And if I'm Gorlick Bread, I'm looking at him and I'm going, yeah, you know what? Wait a minute. Why the fuck are you watching Zachary Michaels? You're a NASCAR mechanic. Can you imagine being
I don't get it.
a NASCAR mechanic and your history and the videos you watch is Zachary Michaels? Ain't that random as fuck?
Yes. Yes,
Why
it
the
is.
hell is your dad watching Zachary Michaels?
That's fair.
Why does he got Zachary Michaels on his playlist? Man's changing tires. Wait a minute, guys. Say, I'm gonna take my lunch break. Yeah, I gotta catch up on my Zachary Michaels. The fuck?
There are a lot of really interesting people in my comment section who do a lot of really interesting things, so it is very random.
I would have been like, Dad, what? Wait a minute. Hold on.
All right, does this have a point? Why am I here? Anyway, he was talking about, okay, he does actually play it. This will only last a little bit longer, I promise.
I'm enjoying this. I'm having so much fun, Amberlynn. If you're watching, keep creating this amazing content. I'm having a blast.
These are like old videos. That's an old video of Amber, and that's an old video of Zachary, sorry.
Who's a YouTuber you classify as a guilty pleasure?
Ooh,
Wow.
that's such a good question.
Look how... You can tell it's an older video because look at how round, like perfectly round her face is. When was she doing this stupid box of questions?
That's a good question.
I'd actually...
Look at his face.
Oh, okay. Before anyone comes for me, this is a new guilty...
He was preparing himself to hear his name. And the award goes to... He was all fixing himself. He was like, "Ooh, wait a minute. Let me just get ready." I felt like I was at the Oscars. He's like, "Whew, oh, this is a good question right here. I've been waiting for this all day. Let me..." All right. And the nominees are... He's like,
He actually looks horrified, but okay, let's go.
he thought he won. I don't know. Look at him prepare himself.
Guilty pleasure. Oh,
Such a good question.
I'd actually... Oh, okay. Before anyone comes for me, this is a new guilty pleasure.
I'm coming for you.
I don't know any backstory on this person, so if they've ever done anything bad and they need to be canceled, I don't know about it.
What?
Okay, your mama. Yep, it's your mama.
Look at his face.
Okay, cool. Well, I know who your mama is now. Back to what we were originally doing. Cool. I've answered my own question.
And YouTubers who think that they're doing something good when they're really not, they're just like attacking two individuals. I noticed that a lot of the reaction channels, they don't like to talk about the other reaction channels. And if they do, it's always like good things. But it's like, y'all, these reaction channels, they're not perfect.
I went after Zachary at least once. What does she expect us to... I mean, the fact that Amber likes that style of content does not surprise me at all. That's a style of content that it attracts certain people, and that's fine if that's what you like to watch. I can't watch that kind of stuff because it's just so... It's not even like the constant fake laughing. It's the random noises and the air horn, and just like when people subscribe or whatever, there's like a loud little thing that pops up on the screen. And that I watch a couple of the SimTubers, and one of them has that happen in their live streams, and I love watching his videos after they've been edited down, but I can't watch his live stream because it's just like constant noise and it's very distracting. And that's kind of how the Yo Mama thing is. There used to be a show in Indiana called Bob and Tom, and it was just non-stop fake laughing and all of these like fart noises and car noises and just weird random sound clips. And then they would just laugh even more because apparently it's the most hilarious thing ever. And I can't do that kind of stuff. It's just very, very distracting and has no point to me. But I know there's people that really enjoy that kind of thing. So if that's you, rock on with your bad self. It's just not my cup of tea. That it's Amber's cup of tea, I believe that. It's very ADD, you know.
They do and say wrong things as well because we are humans. That is just how we're programmed to make mistakes and to do things that we shouldn't. But I think the difference is that Yo Mama's not afraid to say something while all the other reaction channels are very much scaredy cats for the.
Why does Amber care? Like, that's my thing. You have enough viewers. What do you care? This video went up a day ago and it's got 45K views. It's 30 minutes long. Amber, you can be Yo Mama. It's fine. People are still going to watch you. Okay? They're still also going to say awful things about you in the comments section. So I'll bet you if I go into the comment section of Yo Mama's comments, there are probably multiple people who have negative things to say about him. Okay? That's the point. He doesn't care. Why do you care?
For lack of a better term. Minus all that, I genuinely just think that Yo Mama is highly entertaining. I love his live streams and I watch every single one of them. Who is the last person that texted you? So the last person that texted me was my Valentine. What is the last thing you journaled about? So I journaled about a conversation that I will be having this Friday. It's actually a serious conversation that I'm having with someone. So I journaled a little bit about that and like just how I feel about it and maybe some like talking points that I would like to bring up. Will you show your partner in videos in the future? So this goes for anyone, whether it's a family member, whether it's a partner, whether it's a friend. I will show you. You can be in my videos. You can be in all my videos. You can do whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, but you guys know what I mean. Be all up in my videos. Like, I don't care, but it's only if you want to. I will never ever put someone in my videos that does not want to be in my video.
Again. You mean again? This time.
I would love it. Would love it if my partner wanted to be part of my YouTube channel.
I think Amber, this is a long ass video and I apologize, you guys. I think Amber is a lot like Foodie in that Amber really wants to have like a couples style vlog. I think she wants that couples feel, much like Foodie was trying to do with whatever his name is. I think that's part of why Amber's looking for a partner that's willing to be on camera is because she wants that couples vlog. Also, it gives her someone to play off of, and she knows she's much more interesting when she has another person, other characters in the story.
But I understand if they wouldn't. People are brutal. And there's a difference between,
This
oh,
is
I'm
true.
going to make fun of this. I might make fun of your hair versus like, I'm going to dox you and your family and your dog and your dog's kibbles. Like, it's just like, people
She's not wrong.
be doxing
I'm going to keep saying that. She's not wrong.
like what doctors I have. That actually goes into the next question.
Yeah, this one's fun. Spoilers! This is about the surgeon.
Perfect segue, Amberlynn. What really happened during the weight loss surgery era? Okay. I specifically said repeatedly during that whole era. I will explain later. You guys will see why I'm upset later.
Yeah, and it's March. Mid-March.
I can't tell you now, but I'll tell you later.
I mean, it's her story. She could have told us in December of 2025 if she wanted to. I mean, we can't force anything out of her, and she doesn't owe us shit. So, at the same time, you were telling us that before you even broke up, and it's March.
Later is here, and I'm just going to do it short and quick and to the point. I could easily do a whole story time, but I'm just not going to even do that because I'm not going to put my energy into this that hardcore because I just don't want to. I did back then. My energy was very much into this back then. I was very upset. So let's get into it. So if you guys remember,
Let's go.
Came on my YouTube and I said, oh, I can't get weight loss surgery until I don't binge for a whole year.
Yes, I remember that. And pretty much everybody called you on that one. Because I've never even seen Dr. Now do that.
It came out of nowhere. It
More reasons why people don't believe that the weight loss surgery was real.
was confusing. It was weird. It made no sense. But I held on to that and I said, okay, let's do it. Then I had an appointment with my dietitian and she said, you're going to come meet the surgeon because we need to talk to you about something. And this was before I was even supposed to meet the surgeon. Sorry.
I'm just going off of the 600-pound live show. I've never pursued weight loss surgery. I don't know the process of it. I've had a very close friend who's gone through it. I guess I could ask them, but I'm not going to. That being said, on 600-pound live, I never see a dietitian. Well, no, that's not true. There's been a couple people who've had a dietitian come to their houses to help them with Dr. Now's diet, but that's after they've talked with Dr. Now and they've demonstrated that they're having a hard time with his diet. It's never dietitian then surgeon. It's always surgeon then dietitian because the surgeon is the doctor. you know? So I'm always confused about her little jumble of events during her weight loss surgery because none of it made sense. Linearly, none of it makes sense.
Sorry, I itched right here, so that's why I'm super red and I just now noticed. My
Squirrel.
skin is sensitive. So anyways, I was gonna meet the surgeon even before I was supposed to. So long story short, hundreds and hundreds of people were
Thousands and thousands
emailing my surgeon, finding his Instagram and messaging him. They were contacting my surgeon's office through the phone, through messages, any way that people could contact my surgeon, they were finding it and they were doing it. So
I believe that. I do. I believe this. If it were real, I believe this. But it's also been pointed out by multiple reactors. She doxed her doctor. She's always the one who doxes her own people. She doxed her doctor with an email. So she did that. She's the one that put him in the crosshairs. Much like she did with Feline. She's the one that put Feline in the crosshairs.
So how did people find out who my surgeon was? A reaction channel. How did that reaction channel find out who my surgeon was? Because I read maybe 2 sentences of an email that was sent to me by my surgeon's office.
You posted it. You didn't read it. You posted a screenshot of it. And you didn't redact shit properly.
This reactor wanted to know so badly who my surgeon was that they faked wanting to get weight loss surgery just so they could get that email back to them to confirm who my weight loss surgeon was. And once they confirmed who my weight loss surgeon was, what did they do? They doxed him.
You doxed him. This came up in Kicking Geese's chat when Kicking Geese was reacting to this. And I remember this. I was still kind of following Narc Alert at the time. And that's who, and I know she's talking about Narc Alert because in the chat replay, in the chat when she was doing this premiere last Tuesday, she said it's Narc Alert. Like she named Narc Alert as the person she's talking about here. So, and I remember that happened, that they had sent a message to the doctor's office, not the doctor, but to the doctor's office to get access to the video seminar, to watch the video seminar that Amber was saying that she had gone to prepare her for what to expect in weight loss surgery. So I remember that happening, and it was a little weird. It's not a step I would have taken myself, and it's not a step I encourage people to do. I would actually discourage you from doing that. It's a little weird. And I felt that way at the time. So that part did happen. But as far as doxing the doctor, Amber did that. Why are you mad at us? You know your audience by this point. You knew your audience then. Why are you blaming us for your screw up?
They said, this is Amberlynn's surgeon. This is who he is. Blah, 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 blah. Well, my surgeon was Dr. Smith, the same surgeon who did Tammy Slayton's surgery. I have met him. He is wonderful. He was understanding. So when I met him and we had that meeting, I explained to him everything. He explained to me the type of messages and things that he was receiving. It was people saying how I binged and I lie.
I don't know if I believe this part, because I don't see a surgeon doing that. First off, if he is the Slayton sisters doctor, which I have no reason to believe he's not, people have confirmed this because they have done the research. However I feel about it, it happened. And so if he's the Slayton sisters doctor, he's used to controversial and popular YouTubers, because that's what the Slayton sisters started on YouTube. They started, I think, around the same time Amber did. They just got the show. Amber didn't. And so I don't see him really even being bothered by it, to be perfectly honest. Also, I think it would be unprofessional. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I think it would be unprofessional for him to bring this to Amber. She clearly doesn't have any control over it. So what good is there in bringing it to her attention? Also, I'm almost positive it like violates something, the doctor's, maybe not the Hippocratic Oath, but like, I just feel like it's not something a doctor would do. So I don't know how much of this part of it I believe. I believe she found out that her doctor got doxxed because she hangs out in the places where she claims she doesn't hang out. Else, how else would she have known that the Narc Alert is the one that did the video conference? She either has to be I think that happened in the Discord. So she either had to have been in the Discord, or she has to be watching reaction channels, which she also claims she doesn't do. So this is one of those moments where Amber tells on herself. There was some speculation that she was in the Discord, and we all know she watches reaction channels. We know she comments on reaction channels using sock accounts. There's every reason to believe she's on Reddit and on Kiwi Farms reading the sections about herself. So, like, that's why I know she knows this happened. I don't think the doctor is the one that told her about it. I just don't believe the weight loss surgery story.
I lie. So not only was I fighting for myself to get weight loss surgery, but I was fighting against hundreds of people because of a careless reaction channel.
I really don't see a doctor taking the word of the random faceless masses of the internet over a patient. Okay? That's the part I have with this. One of the major problems I have with this story. I don't see a doctor going, "Oh, random person, you're saying Amberlynn is binging? Well. I'm going to deny her surgery because you, random person, called me on the phone to inform me." I don't see that happening. That would be weird. Weird things happen, but I don't personally see that happening.
I was pissed. I was hurt because it's like, react to me all day. Go for it. I really don't care at this point. But
yeah. Really? Because you seem to be bothered by it. And I'm going to react to you anyway, so.
Stop getting in the fucking way of my life. Like, you got in the way of my life. So once the surgeon heard about,
I think she wants to believe that. I think she wants to blame the audience and the haters. I think she wants to blame them, us. I don't consider myself a hater, but she probably does. I think she wants to lay the blame on us, but also I don't believe she was getting surgery.
all this and heard my side of the story, that is when things were changed. And he was like, you know what, a year is way too long. He explained to me that they've never been in this type of situation.
He's the Slayton sisters doctor. He's on television. There's no way he's not getting random messages from people who are either trying to defame the Slayton sisters or just random people who saw him on television and now have, again, a parasocial relationship with him. I don't think Amber's the weirdest thing this doctor's ever had to deal with. I just don't believe that.
Where, like, someone who was well known gets doxxed and now he's receiving all of these messages and calls.
He's literally on a national television show, probably international television show, working with two well-known YouTubers. You are not the special star that you think you are, Amber.
And stuff. Like, not only like was that not fair to me, but it wasn't fair to them as professionals. Like, they had to deal with all of these messages. That's not fair to them. As I speak on this, I also want to
I mean, she's right. It isn't fair to them.
thank Zachary Michael because he knew about all of this. I actually told him in private. I didn't give him like the rundown. I didn't give him every tiny detail, but
why does she DM the reactors? Like, I know she's got like an off and on with Zachary Michael. She's got an off and on with Alex. I know she has like crushes on both of them because she likes gay guys. I think she doesn't feel threatened by them because I know she feels threatened. I personally think she feels threatened by straight men. But like, she doesn't feel threatened by gay guys. And so I think that's why she's more comfortable DMing Alex and Zach. But why does she do it in the first place? I mean, I know it's a parasocial thing, but it would just be very weird for her to like slip into my DMs, which I don't think will ever happen, but it would be very strange for her to slip into my DMs and just start like talking to me. It would be weird. I don't know if I would react, if I would respond, because that's strange, but I don't know. I guess I at least owe her a reply because this is what I'm doing. But like for us to go back and forth and for her to then be sharing like personal information with me, that would be strange. We aren't friends. We're acquaintances. If the best you could say is we're like coworkers. Okay?
He knew who my surgeon was. I went back to try to find the DMs, but I don't know. A lot of DMs were deleted. I don't know if it was because of him or because I had him blocked at one point.
Or it just didn't happen. I don't know. Zachary might be able to back that up.
It's a mess. I do be blocking, I'm not gonna lie. But just out of respect, I'm not gonna share our DMs because I feel like that's low life.
All right. You know, I don't think I've ever seen Zach do that either. So, what have you?
I know reaction channels love to share DMs. It's like their go-to. It's like, oh, Amberlynn messaged me. Let me show you. It's like, for real now, come on. But yeah.
If you messaged me, I might mention it, but I'm not going to share it. Unless you said something particularly egregious, which I highly doubt you'll do.
Zachary Michael knew, and he didn't say a word. And in his reactions, he acted like he had no idea. And I feel like a lot of people might ask this. No, that's not the reason why I didn't end up getting weight loss surgery, because I was still going through with it. Like, Dr. Smith is so freaking amazing. Like, he was so sweet, such a gentleman. He was rooting for me through and through. Like, I wish more than anything, if I ever want weight loss surgery again, that he will be the surgeon, because it's just like, he is incredible.
He's in Kentucky and you're in Oklahoma. You'd have a better chance of getting seen by Dr. Now at this point.
Incredible. I ultimately did not get weight loss surgery because I didn't feel ready. I didn't. I genuinely didn't. I didn't feel like I had the support that I needed, because me and my ex, my now ex, we were just going through a lot at the time. And
so, okay, here's the thing that like a couple people have gotten wrong, and I will call you on this. A lot of the reaction channels are saying she's blaming the audience for not getting the weight loss surgery. No, she just blamed Feline. The reason why she didn't get weight loss surgery is because she didn't feel supported, because she was going through relationship problems. She's blaming Feline for not getting the weight loss surgery, not the audience. She's just mad at us. She's just mad. It's Feline's fault she didn't get the weight loss surgery.
It was super expensive, like $35,000. Like, it was just like a lot of different things that were causing me to be like, this is not the right choice right now. So the next question kind of goes into what we were just talking about. Is weight loss surgery something you will try again? So right now the answer is no, but will it always be no? I really don't know. But right now that's not like in the cards for me, honestly. So the last question is,
I don't think she ever intended to get weight loss surgery. I will just continue to say that because I've said it every time she's mentioned it.
a little more substance. I feel like this had substance, or at least I hope so. To me it did. I love
We know. You love talking about yourself.
you guys. I have a lot of editing to do now, but I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
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 This is a long video, even for me. This is a ridiculously long video. I'm kind of tempted to not really even edit it much because it's long. It's a long video. What did we learn? We learned that Amber likes to softball questions to herself. We've learned that Amber desperately wants to talk about her sexuality, not whether she's into girls or not, but her like active sexuality. She wants to talk about that because, and I think it's because she's courting a new wife, a new wifey, if you will. She's courting Valentine. We know that Amber really wanted to blame her audience. I think she wanted to blame us for not believing her. Do I believe that Dr. Smith was getting calls and stuff? Yes. Do I believe he was probably getting that for the Slayton sisters and for the 1,000 Pound Sisters show? Yes. Do I think that's unique to Amber? No. Is it probably overwhelming for him and his staff? Probably. I mean, I would assume it would be overwhelming to me. But so I do believe that could have been happening, especially once people figured out that he was potentially her weight loss doctor, because people do that shit. I don't know why, but they do. So, but I, again, not entirely sure how much of the weight loss journey was real. It goes back to her seeing the therapist. I don't believe she did. I think she had maybe an initial visit with him or conference call with him, and that was the end of it. But I do know that she's like clearly setting the ground to use her BPD as an excuse for her bad behavior in the next relationship going forward. Because she did. That's what she did here. She set that groundwork, at the same time saying that she's in a new relationship. So this is kind of her way of setting things up for her relationship that she thinks is going to go forward. The rest of these questions were just kind of empty. Like, who asks, do you listen to music? It's like the 21st century. Of course she listens to music. I'm sure somewhere there's somebody who doesn't, statistically, but like in the US, everyone listens to music here. It's constant. It's everywhere. Like, who doesn't listen to music? Maybe you don't listen to a lot of music, but come on. Yeah, and the rest of these questions were just like chances for her to kind of solidify the character she's trying to show Valentine. And then like the couple things where she's just showing us up. I cut my hair. It's significantly shorter than it was 2 hours ago. Cool. It's still not where it needs to be, but I mean, good first step. Okay. What was the other things? The other stuff I kind of don't remember any of it because it's just like pointless. It was so pointless. But in that it is setting up and solidifying the character. I feel like I keep going back to that and I apologize. So really all we're seeing here is a 30-minute long ad for Amber to Valentine. That's what we just watched. So, all right. This video is very long. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to do minimal editing because I don't want to spend another 2 hours editing this video. So, sorry. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and put a clock down in the comment section. That'll be our emoji for this one. And there's a lot here if you guys want to talk about it. I know some people were commenting when I watched it on the live. I have definitely cut out at least 3 questions because I don't want to know these things about Amber, and I think they were inappropriate to be sharing in the first place, but that's because I'm an adult. Anyway, yeah, all right. So there you go. If you've made it this far, go ahead and leave a clock, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You all rock. Thank you to everybody who's hitting the thumbs up button. You can hit the thumbs down button. Yeah, and if for some strange reason you have sat through this entire video, you might as well subscribe. Just putting it out there. And yeah, I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.